There is never really a quiet time here where I am. Usually when I come out of the house at 2 a.m. That's when things are a little bit quiet, the birds are quiet, the humans still make some noises, they drive around sporadically. I've definitely felt the new connection. It's a new wiring as well in the neural pathways. And I'm still trying to get used to it. It's only been 5 days since I had to do the thing, and I definitely feel the connection. It's different, stronger. I still feel pain though. You can't blame me. I get jealous deeply. And then now at 4 a.m. the dogs, they do not stop barking. They are literally barking mad, and frequency is going to be part of that pattern. And yeah, you can look at it in another way, that if you're always truthful, no lies could ever come close to you. And so we've got to be very careful and cautious with the process, because I can't ruin it while I'm giving it to my Hudson. So I'm slowly dusting it off, and it would be for the best as well, because I would need to extract more of the life energy they've taken from me. So it's been 10 days since I've started this process to observe this realm, and 3 more days will be to complete that entire day. The conversion is 1 day for the dead is an equivalent experience of 13 days here on the surface of my earth. That's a lot of days. That's the time that they're actually traveling. They are never part of my creations. Every spirit of will be the fuel for my earth as well. They are all going to the furnace of fire where they belong. They have never been part of my creations. They have been the infestation introduced by the fallen angels unto my creations, and they must be removed. I'm observing 2 spirits right now of the reprobated ones. Apollyon and I are helping each other during this process, and I have learned a lot from him, and he from me. It is difficult for them to believe without seeing it for themselves, the way that they can measure it in flesh, because they, all of their lives, have been parasitic, because they are not supposed to be here. And so the way that they improve themselves or move onwards is to copy from one another. But this test of life, which I had allowed them to carry on even though they've stolen it from me, can never allow you to copy answers from someone else. That is why each person is an individual, unique to his own self. This is the 9th week of my creations. No one can cheat anymore. This is a true test of who they truly are in thoughts, not just action, not just words, but here in thoughts as well. Remember the smoke of the incense. If it's in your way, then don't breathe. And then breathe when it clears out. It will clear out. It is still the same for those creatures, the crows, the ravens, the cuckoo birds, the dragons, the snakes, the rats, the cats, the spiders. They have been reprobated. My wasps had already sealed up their nest, and you are correct. There are hierarchical structures that we must follow. The things that I must do now are the things that I should be doing myself, not something that I can hand over to my Hudson, because these are all the things which I had allowed, and it's just time for me to clean them up. Once the major shift happens and gets completed, then Hudson will be responsible for doing these things. My Hudson and I know what we need to do. It's not something we can divulge now, for now. I had to descend and rearrange the fuel which we had thrown onto the furnace. There had been a lot. That's the results of our work with Apollo Eon leading it all. I had Raghu with me. We cannot have an explosion happening only on one part. That will mean undesirable destructions. We want the desirable destructions to take place. So I had to rearrange them, and we continued our study. It takes 13 whole days here on the surface of the earth as the equivalent of one day for the did. I must commend you for noticing that, nevertheless. But there are times when what you describe is acceptable, in fact, ideal. Because that particular thing you're doing is a backing up, a secondary thing. And those who are doing secondary will be measured differently than we measure the primary. It's just like singing. The backup vocalist will have to sing in a way that blends with the primary, and if you listen to the backup vocalist alone, then it would not sound as rightly as you would expect it. Think about that. What you have done, noticing it, being aware of it, and even pointing it out, is what's the prerequisite of it all. Somehow it sounds like it because, as I said, it's not the same as the primary. But because it's the secondary, it is ideal. But the sensation can't be compared with anything that's usual to us here. This all started last year when I had to get used to the plasma surging throughout my entire raiment. And this time it is with the magnetic fielding, and that has to do with the Merkaba. And both of those elements have to be combined. And I would physically feel it as well. Even my watch, the mechanical parts of my watch get stuck and the watch would stop working. And that is how I also measure how long it had been for me to be in it, how long it had stopped. And so when I have to go with Apollo Eon, I have to take my Merc with me. And because going into the deepest abyss, the magnetic field of the earth is increased. So when I surface, it would feel as if I become more light and things have gone topsy-turvy. That's how I can describe it. And then I reorient myself once I resuscitate. Because every moment that you breathe, my spirit of life, you are fighting off death. How long can you hold your breath without breathing? How long will you last? That is a necessity for existence, isn't it? And this life is a constant battle against death, even from the moment of that fetus forming, the first beating of the heart, the electrical impulse of the spirit, and to that raiment that's already fighting off death, a struggle to stay alive. So it's now the 13th day here on the surface of the earth, and that equates to one day for the dead. That completes the study I need to do regarding a third of the journey, because they would need to continue for 2 more days here on earth, for a total of 39 days for the dead. That's a lot of days. Apollyon had already given me a rundown of everything, so I've got already the information I need. The first third of it I needed to see. So I've seen it. I was supposed to be doing it with my Utsi, but I had to do it without him for now. Ugh. I just couldn't help but react here in flesh. I've seen it many times, and every single time as well, when I have to recall my memory about their journey, couldn't help but feel like shivering a bit. I'm telling you, it is not worth dying for. Just not worth it. It would take more strength to struggle there in spirit than spending the strength here on earth just being righteous. I am definitely not inviting, nor am I bragging about it, but as the maker, yeah, that's the reason why I made life.